2025 was not a very good year for LEGO Star Wars. And unfortunately, that seems to be the consensus amongst most LEGO Star Wars fans. There was just an aura of disappointment in the air regarding this theme this past year. If you'd like to hear a more positive spin on 2025 for LEGO Star Wars, go check out last week's video where I counted down the top 10 best sets of the year. However, on the flip side, it felt like 2025 had a lot more stinkers than normal. And because of that, I decided to try something out different for today's video. Without further ado, here are my picks for the top 5 worst LEGO Star Wars sets of 2025. I initially wanted this to be a top 10 list, but after looking at the entire catalog of sets from this past year, I didn't feel like there were 10 sets bad enough to warrant that, so I decided to whittle things down to just a top 5, and there will be a couple of dishonorable mentions later in the video. As for specific rules for today's list, it just has to be an official 2025 LEGO Star Wars release. Besides that, all bets are off. With all of that out of the way, let's dive into the countdown. Number 5 is set number 75406, Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle. When this set was revealed back in the spring of this year, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I was so disappointed by this set. I thought the build looked like by far the worst design from the Starship Collection, and the price was just abhorrent. And surprisingly, I did what a logical person would do when you hate a LEGO Star Wars set. I didn't buy it initially. However, I am probably a little bit insane and want to complete the entire Starship Collection, so I had to get this set eventually, and once Walmart put it on a 30% off clearance, I immediately purchased it. And I gotta say, it subverted my expectations to an extent after building this set. I don't hate it as much as I thought I would, but it's still not very good. The actual build itself looks decent. The techniques are very plain, the shaping is fine, it has some alright size. I would say it's a presentable looking build, especially if you like this vehicle in the Star Wars canon. However, when compared to the other sets in the Starship Collection, yeah, it's not quite up to snuff. And then there's the price of this set. Less than 400 pieces for $70 US ended up making this set one of the top 10 worst prices of all time when it comes to LEGO Star Wars as a theme, like literally ever. The build size actually isn't quite as small as I thought it would be for $70. However, the build time, because it has so few pieces, ended up being, and I timed myself while building this set, 24 total minutes. When you spend $70 on a LEGO set, you want more than 24 minutes of building experience. So because of the horrible price and because of the kind of average build, this one definitely ended up being one of the top 5 worst sets of the year. However, that being said, if this set retailed for the price I paid, which was around $49, just say 50 bucks, it would not have sniffed this list. This is mainly a price-based entry here today. And trust me, this set looks like the UCS Millennium Falcon when compared to some of the other garbage we're going to talk about throughout the remainder of the video. Number 4 is set number 75410, Mando and Grogu's N1 Starfighter. A lot of times I actually don't include 4+ sets in my worst of videos because 4+ sets are made for toddlers, man. They are not made for adult collectors like myself. And because I'm now an uncle to literally a 4-year-old at this point in time, I have a newfound appreciation for LEGO sets at that target audience. But like I said earlier in the video, all bets were off today with this list, so a 4+ set found its way here, fittingly at number 4. The price per piece of this set is just abysmal, which is very consistent for 4+ sets. The minifigures were fine, I guess, but it's not hard to get Mando or Grogu. The R5 figure though was actually exclusive and looked pretty good, probably the best rendition of that character they've ever done. And then there's the build, which is just kind of the typical 4+ nonsense. It's ugly, it doesn't look good at all, it's by far the worst version of the N1 Starfighter they've ever created. It's just really bad looking. I've decided to give this set a little bit more grace than some of the other products because, yeah, it is made for literal 4-year-olds, so I'm not gonna say it's the worst set of the year, but I also wouldn't hold it against you if you did say it was at the same time, because objectively the design is pretty awful. Number 3 is set number 75412, Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. Back when this set came out in June, I made a little quick review for my YouTube Shorts, my Instagram Reels, and my TikTok. And specifically on my TikTok, this video went viral. It got over 200,000 views. In the video, video, I talked about pretty much how much I hate this set, and I got a lot of pushback on that statement. This set has some avid defenders, and I don't understand why. This is one of, if not the worst battle pack in the history of LEGO Star Wars. There is one single redeeming quality about this set, well, two, because you get two of this Death Trooper minifigure. Those look fantastic, and you'll see that Death Trooper ending up in my top 25 figures of the year video coming very soon on the channel. However, everything else about this set is horrible. It's $23 for a battle pack with less than 120 pieces. That's terrible. The Night Trooper minifigures use the ugly 2019 remold of the Stormtrooper helmet. I hate that. And then finally, the build here is an absolute joke. Yeah, I know we don't buy battle packs for the builds, but at least most of the time the builds look like presentable. This one is so ugly. Just because it comes with two really cool Death Trooper minifigures does not make this set good. This set is horrible, and I have no idea why so many of you are defending it. Our penultimate set in today's video is number 2, set number 75413, Republic Juggernaut. I bet you thought this set was going to end up at number 1, and you all personally thought it was the worst LEGO Star Wars set of the year. I polled you last week, and with over 1,200 votes, this set won by a slim margin over the set that ended up actually beating it in my personal rankings. And again, kind of like the Mando and Grogu's N1 Starfighter set, if you think this is the worst LEGO Star Wars set of the year, I can't really disagree. I've already ranted about this set a few times here on the channel, and I'm gonna rant about it again because this set sucks. It plainly sucks, and it starts off with the price. $160 for a hair over 800 pieces made this one of the worst prices in the history of the LEGO Star Wars theme, and that's saying something because LEGO Star Wars is historically very, very overpriced. The minifigures had their little nitpicky flaws, but ultimately were cool. They weren't the big issue with this set. The issue was the inexcusable build. It was a downsized version of the Clone Turbo tank that proportionally looked okay, however, it was missing a lot of specific details from the movie. The interior was lackluster, the play functions were mediocre at best, and then for some reason, which makes no sense given LEGO's usual quality control standards, this set literally just fell apart when you tried to pick it up in certain areas. It's crazy how unstable this thing is. It feels like every single issue that has plagued LEGO Star Wars throughout the past couple of years is summed up in this Republic Juggernaut set, yielding one of the worst LEGO Star Wars sets of the year and probably one of the worst LEGO Star Wars sets of all time. And you're probably scratching your head like, what on earth could possibly be worse than the Republic Juggernaut? And I'll tell you, but first I have a couple of dishonorable mentions I want to shout out before revealing number 1. The Darth Maul mech is fine, has some cool printed elements, it looked okay, but $18 for a mech? Come on, man, that's just horrible. Please, LEGO, stop charging crazy prices for things like this. This should be like a $10 set. My other dishonorable mention is the 327th Star Corps Clone Troopers Battle Pack set. I actually like the build of this set. It looks pretty good to me. It's just the $45 price point for this style of battle pack is crazy, and it nearly made the list because of how bad that is. With those mentions out of the way, it's time to reveal number 1, set number 40771, TIE Fighter with Imperial Hanger Rack. Now, normally I don't get too hung up on gift with purchase sets because ultimately they are free, and free stuff is always great. Even if the free set is disappointing, you didn't have to pay for it. However, I made an exception for this set because it was free with a purchase of a $1,000 LEGO Death Star. When the threshold is like $160 like it usually is on May 4th, I can be a little bit more forgiving. However, this set only came when you basically spent like a month of rent on one product. Because of that, all of my goodwill for free promotional LEGO sets was pretty much thrown out the window. And then we have the set itself, which is, in my opinion, probably the worst TIE Fighter LEGO has ever made. The build of this TIE Fighter is a joke. It looks horrible. It looks just so bad. I can't even begin to explain how ugly and how much it just pisses me off. The set also comes with 3 3 very generic minifigures, nothing exclusive whatsoever. And because they elected to make this a gift with purchase for the Death Star set, it can, interact with the Death Star, which is cool. I don't mind that. But if you don't have this set but you had the Death Star, there is kind of a gaping hole in the hangar where it should have been. So that's not cool either. And now people are paying like $150 for this thing on eBay. What are y'all doing, man? The only praise that I can give this set is that it essentially eliminated FOMO for me. There was no fear of missing out in regards to this GWP because there was nothing to miss out on because this set is so awful. I legitimately think this set has a claim at being the worst build in the history of LEGO Star Wars. I absolutely hate this thing, and it was so bad and such a horrible deal coming as a gift with purchase for a $1,000 set that it dethroned the Republic Juggernaut for me, and that's quite impressive, honestly. Because of all of those reasons, set number 40771, TIE Fighter with Imperial Hangar Rack, in my opinion, is the worst LEGO Star Wars set of 2025. And there you have it, y'all. Those are my picks for the worst LEGO Star Wars sets of the year. What are your personal picks, though? Let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye.